There was once someone who did such wonderful things and said such amazing things that people just had to ask who he really was. One time when they asked, he said, "I am the light." I see the love of God in you, the light of Christ comes shining through, and I am blessed to be with you, oh holy child of God. The one that said, "I am the light," changed to be in all places at all times. See this light? How it's in just one place? Let's change the light. Look, the light's changed. It's growing, becoming invisible, filling the room with the light of Christ. As you go about this room today, know that the light is there. And when you leave this room today, know that you take the light of Christ with you wherever you go. Watch carefully so you always know what today's lesson looks like. Everybody needs to be ready. The great family grew. Jacob had 12 sons. Jacob's favorite son was Joesph. To show his love, Jacob gave Joesph a long-sleeved coat with many colors. This made Jacob's brothers hate him. One night, Joesph had a dream. He and his brothers were working in a field gathering wheat. Suddenly, Joseph's bundle rose up and all his brothers bowed down before his. Joesph told his brothers this dream, and they hated him even more. They wondered if Joesph would rule over them. Joesph had another dream. In this dream, the sun and the moon and even the stars bowed down before him. Joesph told his father and brothers about this dream, and they all became angry. It sounded like not only the brothers, but also Jacob and his wife would bow down before Joesph. One day, when the brothers were far away in the fields with the flocks, Jacob sent Joesph to see how they were doing. Joesph went to them, and when his brothers saw him coming, they decided to kill him. But the oldest brother convinced them not to. Instead, they took away his coat and put him into a pit. Soon, a caravan of traders came past. The brothers sold Joesph to the traders for 20 pieces of silver. They took Joseph's coat and dipped it in the blood of a goat and brought the coat to their father. They told Jacob that a wild beast had killed Joesph, and Jacob wept. Joesph was taken to Egypt and sold as a slave. A captain of the Pharaoh's army named Pharaoh purchased him. His wife had Joesph sent to jail, but Joesph remained close to God, and God to him. Soon of the Pharaoh's servants were in jail with Joesph. They had dreams, and Joesph told them what they meant. When the Pharaoh's servants were released, they found that the Pharaoh had dreamed many dreams that no one understood. One of them told the Pharaoh about Joesph, and the Pharaoh called for him. The Pharaoh's dream had two parts. First, there were 7 fat cows and 7 skinny cows. The thin cows ate the fat ones. Then he dreamed that there were 7 fat and good ears of corn. And 7 sick and thin ones. The thin ones were swallowed up by the good ones. Joesph told the Pharaoh that his dreams meant that there would be 7 good years followed by 7 bad years. He told the Pharaoh that this was a warning to save up grain during the good years so that they would have food for the people of Egypt in the bad years. The Pharaoh agreed and put Joesph in charge of gathering and saving the grain. Joesph was now 30 years old. The lands near Egypt also had bad years. The people from the lands near Egypt came to Joesph to beg for food. Jacob sent 10 of his sons into Egypt to get food to eat. When the brothers came to Egypt, they bowed down before Joesph. They did not recognize him, but Joesph knew who they were. He kept one of the brothers with him and gave the others grain and told them to go home. Then all of them came back. This time Joesph told them who he was. He said, "God sent me before you to preserve life." Joesph and his family spent the rest of their days in Egypt. When Jacob died, Joesph took him home to be buried in the land of their fathers. Then Joesph and his brothers returned to Egypt, where years later their children would become slaves because the new Pharaoh forgot all about what Joesph did. I wonder, what part of the story you like best? I wonder which part is most important. I wonder where you see yourself in this story. I wonder, is there anything that we can take out and still have everything that we need to tell this story? I wonder, will you think of this story today? The story of Joseph and his brothers? Maybe you'll think of another story. But whatever you do today, know that you take the light of Christ with you wherever you go.